In a country where conformity and subtle social cues carry significant weight, standing out can sometimes feel more like a curse than a blessing. That's exactly how 27-year-old Happy Terauchi has felt while navigating the challenging world of Japanese job hunting. While her name might sound cheerful and uplifting, it has been the cause of ridicule, confusion, and emotional exhaustion during one of the most crucial phases of adult life, finding a career. A name that turns heads, for the wrong reasons. Every time I walked into an interview, I could sense something was off, Terauchi shares. It wasn't what I said or how I looked. It was always my name. Born in 1997, Terauchi was given the unique first name, Happy, by her parents, who wished to instill a lifelong sense of positivity and joy into her identity. However, what was meant to be a gift became a daily hurdle. Interviewers would mispronounce it, laugh awkwardly, or outright ask me if it was a joke, she says. Sometimes, I could hear snickering from behind the partition before I even walked into the interview room. This kind of treatment wasn't isolated. Across multiple companies and recruitment events, Happy noticed a pattern of being treated less seriously, not because of her qualifications but because of the perceived oddity of her name. It felt like I wasn't being seen as a real person. Japan's hiring culture, especially for new graduates, is notoriously rigid. Protocol, politeness, and uniformity are deeply embedded in the process. A deviation from the norm, even something as simple as a name, can have consequences. One HR person actually asked me, "Is this your real name? You can't use a nickname in official documents," she recalls. They assumed it was a fake name or a stage name. While there's an increasing acceptance of diversity in urban areas and among younger generations, conservative attitudes still dominate most hiring boards. The mere fact that her name sounded foreign or too cheerful put her on the defensive before she could even showcase her skills or experiences. At some point, I began to dread the name call at interviews. Every time they read Happy Terauchi, I knew the atmosphere in the room would change, and not in a good way. Behind the curtain, laughter and whispering. Perhaps the most demoralizing moment came during a group interview for a major cosmetics company in Tokyo. I was waiting outside the conference room with other candidates. I could clearly hear the panel talking, laughing, behind the partition, Terauchi recounts, her voice tense. One of them said, "We've got a Happy today. Let's see if she makes us laugh too." She walked into that interview feeling humiliated and on edge. Unsurprisingly, the conversation was curt and unprofessional, and she never heard back. It wasn't just rejection, she says. It was rejection without dignity. I wasn't treated like a serious candidate. The invisible burden of unusual names. Terauchi's experience isn't unique. In Japan, where names are often indicators of family history, tradition, and cultural identity, having an unconventional or foreign-sounding name can cause confusion or, in some cases, discrimination. Some friends have names like Light or Sky, also unique, but more palatable in Japanese, Terauchi explains. But Happy stands out in a way people aren't used to. It makes them uncomfortable. This discomfort often manifests in passive-aggressive remarks, awkward laughter, or even exclusion from opportunities. It's a form of bias that isn't as openly discussed as gender or age discrimination, but one that's felt acutely by those who live it. The psychological toll, self-doubt and identity crisis. At the height of her job-hunting stress, Terauchi considered legally changing her name. I even downloaded the application form to change my name at the family court, she says. But then I thought, why should I be the one to change? I've done nothing wrong. Instead, she started speaking out about her experiences online, where her posts resonated with thousands of young people across Japan. I got messages from others with unique names, like Peace, Jewel, and even a Dragon, telling me they had similar stories. I wasn't alone. Her tweets gained traction and led to a broader discussion about implicit bias in hiring practices. Some recruiters even reached out to apologize on behalf of their industry. Fighting back with confidence. Rather than succumbing to pressure, Terauchi used the attention to rebuild her confidence. She revised her job application strategy, choosing companies with a reputation for inclusivity and modern values. She also added a personal explanation in her cover letters to preempt confusion about her name. Eventually, she landed a marketing job at a progressive tech startup in Shibuya, where individuality is celebrated, not suppressed. The first thing my manager said during the interview was, "Happy, what a great name. We need more of that energy here," she laughs. That was the moment I realized, I didn't need to change myself. I just needed to find the right people. Name bias, a global issue. While Terauchi's story is rooted in Japan, it speaks to a broader, global issue of name-based discrimination. Numerous studies across the world have shown that people with ethnic, unique, or non-traditional names face higher rates of job application rejection. In the US, for example, resumes with African American sounding names have been shown to receive fewer callbacks than those with white sounding names. Similarly, in Europe, applicants with Arabic names are often passed over despite similar qualifications. This form of bias is subtle but harmful, as it perpetuates systemic exclusion and sends a message that only those who conform are worthy of opportunity. Looking forward, a name should not define potential. Happy Terauchi now advocates for name inclusion awareness through social media and university guest lectures. She's pushing companies to rethink what professionalism truly means. Your name is your identity. It reflects your parents' hopes, your culture, and your journey, she says. It shouldn't be a liability. It should be celebrated. As Japan slowly embraces diversity in more visible ways, from multicultural schools to international marriages and gender equality movements, stories like Terauchi's are important reminders of the work that still needs to be done. People say, Japan is changing, she says. Yes, but change is only real when we stop laughing at someone just because their name doesn't fit into a narrow box. Her message is clear, confident, and fitting, just like her name.